All right, I think we're live.
It says we're live. I'm waiting for it to pop up over on the. This will be a delay, of
Yeah.
course. Oh, there we are. There we are.
All right, guys. Well, this is my first time doing this on YouTube, streaming and all that good stuff. Normally, I'm just a referee, man. So,
But here we are, and we are live. So, what are we talking about today, Tim? What are we gonna say?
well, I just wanted to get on here and put out ArmSports Entertainment's side of what happened in Winnipeg, Canada, and it's not an intent to bash anybody. It's just it's what needs to happen on our side. Being the promoter and trying to build up my brand the last 7 years, and I just feel that this needed to happen. And just want to go over some key points. And Ryan brought you on because you were there as well, and you have a lot of insight on all this stuff. Um, so yeah, I mean, we can start off by dating all the way back to East versus West finals. Um, Billy approached me to run some events in Canada, and I was like, I've always wanted to expand, and Arm Sports Entertainment go international. It'd be awesome. And we chatted for a while, and he said, I would love if you could do the tournament and bring your expertise to that, and we'll have some super matches and all that. And I was like, yeah, not a problem. So I just want to focus a little bit on that. You know, there's two things here. Is I was asked to run a tournament. Billy, I guess, thought that meant super matches as well, which wasn't the case. It wasn't talked about. Arm Sports running super matches, nothing like that. It
Well,
was
I understand that, but I mean, really, what does that mean? Run super matches because the super like you. I'm not sure where what that means. Run a super match because the super matches are set.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it wasn't our responsibility to set any of the matches.
Right. Okay.
He was the one who was setting the matches. Arm Sports was the ref of that. And when that was done, that's where I kicked in. I ran the brackets, I ran the weigh-ins. I did. That's where Arm Sports was does. For, that's what we were supposed to do for this, and that's how we were getting compensated for this whole thing.
Gotcha.
Just want to set the record straight on that, and right off the get go before we get into some more things that that's what we were there to do. Um, frankly, we weren't even supposed to do the flyers, but um, we got asked last minute to do that, and we agreed to pump that out so we could still have this thing, because people were still committed to coming. Um, throwing an event at this caliber cost a lot of money. Um, I made it a point to ask multiple times, "Hey, got some more sponsors? What do you got going on?" And he was like, "Yeah, they're flowing in. Everything's looking great." And I'm not the only one he told that. And so I was like, cool. I was like, when I do things, just giving you advice, I always put pen to paper on what I have coming in and what I got going out. I said, do you have that? I'm just curious. Never got it. Not that he had to give it to me, but never got it. You know, um, Part of this is my bad for not putting a contract to paper on exactly what we were supposed to do. Besides, I thought it was just pretty cut and dry. We were there to run the tournament, and that's what we did. And in my opinion, we didn't live stream that, but I thought it went very well,
Yeah.
very ran smooth, no injuries. Um, it went great.
Hey,
Um,
I mean, focusing on the positive,
yeah,
you're correct. I mean, really, there's nothing. I don't think there's any complaints or hiccups or anything. With the way that the event flowed, The super matches, the youth tournament went off really well. The super matches started on time. The tournament went well, finished well. No one got hurt. Everyone seemed to enjoy themselves. So those are all positives.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, we're just gonna keep going a little bit with this, and we're gonna stop each other when we want to, intervene. But I just got like a list of here, like, I'm not. Um, I coordinate a lot of events, but a lot of my stuff is just like go go. But the back end of the stuff is my wife. I mean, she does all my back end stuff, so I've never had to discuss stuff like this. So we just kind of put our brains together as for ArmSports Entertainment, and we have a list here. And like she stated, she heard many of times that financial backing was all taken care of, rooms and everything. And we get there and we're all like, three of us got to share a room. We're like, what's going on? We thought we all had our same room. We all had our own rooms and everything. That started to rub me the wrong way right there. I'm like, what's going on here? Um, just early on when I was there, with Jody walking and talking to the owners of the place and stuff like that, stuff wasn't clicking of what I was told. Um, and I just kind of ran with it. And then, you know, again, when I asked Billy about all this financial stuff, it was like, yeah, we got this seminar the night before, and it's all cost this much money, and they're gonna have flyers, and they're gonna sign these posters for sale, and shirts, and pictures, and I asked him through the night, like, where are we doing this at? And we ended up doing it in a hallway, and then we all came in when everybody was gone to do a seminar. I was like, something's not adding up, and but again, we ran with it. Um, and then, you know, I guess just taking a step back, and all promoters do different things, and I get it. But for me, I can tell you, if you come to my two big events, I have some small ones, but my two big events, Arizona State, Washington State, um, if you're a referee and you're flying in, I paid you to fly in. I have them buy their own flights, and I take care of the rooms, and I give them their pay. When they get there, I hand them an envelope that has their money for their flights and their pay and their room key. That's just how I do it. I've never been the one to chase somebody, have someone chase me. I have more shit to worry about with my tournament than I do having to pay my staff, because they're the first people I hang out with and take care of. And so that was kind of weird, because I thought, and I only speak on this because Jody Williams he's my best friend. And he's like, yeah, man, I thought I'd be getting my money right when I got here. It's kind of weird. And I was like, you didn't get your flight? And, it kind of leaded it. Is that what you kind of thought too? That going into it, that, hey, like, you're going to get there and get squared away and then don't have to about anything and get ready for your match? Or,
I thought that would happen. Actually, I did. I did think that, because that's been my experience in the past. There's only one difference. Like, I know that I was recently at an event where they ran pay-per-view, and they were relying heavily on the pay-per-view to pay the athletes.
mm-hmm.
But we all knew this ahead of time.
Right.
So we knew there would be a delay in the pay to the athletes. And there was a delay, but it went off basically exactly what they said would happen happened.
Right.
So it was a few days or whatever. But normally that's how you would do it, especially if there's no pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. You would get handed, stuff, and you'd have a good weekend because you'd have all this extra money to spend at the hotel.
Yeah, and I guess I'll just I agree with you, because there's, for a referee, mostly we always get paid because we don't mean shit to a lot of promoters. So, but there is one promoter that, I don't get paid for 30 days. It's a pay-per-view thing, but it's talked about, it's agreed upon, and there's not even a question. We don't even talk about it. And so the pay-per-view, again, he wanted to do a pay-per-view, and I was like, okay, like who do you got? And he kind of named off some thing. I was like, well, I'll try to find a streaming device. I use YouTube. So we had talked about using YouTube, and then we talked about using a streaming thing. Well, then it comes down like the week before. I'm talking to this person in Canada who has a streaming device, has done some great things there, and I was like, oh, this could work out. Like, we're good. Yeah, it's nobody really buys the pay-per-views till last minute anyway, so it's really not that big of a deal. Yeah, it wouldn't have been promoted for the pay-per-view, but people knew about it. Um, and then when I hit him up and I was like, cool, I was like, you got cameras? He said, yeah, I'm gonna run it off my phone. And I was like, well, I don't think this is gonna work then. I was like, maybe we should just do a free one. And then, maybe, I was trying to make this a long-term thing in Canada for us. And so I was like, you know what, check this out. I was like, this is gonna be a badass event with these matches. Let's just run a free one and give everybody the taste, and then we'll run a pay-per-view after that. And then it kind of realized he thought he was going to make $1 million on pay-per-views that was going to buy all this thing, because it was slowly more and more no money.
Yeah.
And I'll fast forward through. The matches were great, everything was great. Let's just skip to the end of the night, because that's when everything was kind of unfolded.
Yeah, that's when shit hit the fan a little bit.
I was told there was going to be some meetings and this and that, and then we started talking, and I said, we need to go talk in the hallway. I was like, but I don't know what's going on. Jody hasn't been paid yet. What's going on? And I was like, I'm assuming you're taking a hit here because your numbers didn't add up. And I was like, I'm assuming ArmSports Entertainment is not going to get paid the entry fees, because you need those to help you pay your stuff. So I just need our flight, and I guess we're going to take a loss. And that's kind of where things started to really hit the fan for me. At that point, he started asking me for like $3,000 because he was $6,000 in the hole. And I was like, what? I was like, where's all your sponsorships and everything? And he's like, I was like, you posted on the internet all these sponsorships. Every week you were getting this and this and this. And he kept rattling off where it went here and went here. I was like, so you're telling me, and again, I'm not trying to bash anybody or make this out to be the bad guy. I'm just trying to clear ArmSports' name, that this had nothing to do with us. We ran the tournament like we were supposed to.
Yeah.
And he pretty much at the beginning of it, he had $0 going into the day. He was supposed to sell these VIP tables for $500, and there's like 6 of them that apparently sold out last tournament. $60 a chair that sold out last tournament. I don't know. It was like $5,000 worth of stuff, and then you add the $7,000 in sponsorships that he got. It paid for everything. So you want to touch on that? I started to get mad again because I'm just like thinking of everything in my head, but I'm just like, man, like
here's the flaw. Here's the flaw. And I should mention that I am going to go on the 98% Arm Wrestling show tomorrow.
All right. And he's on there tomorrow.
He's going to be there with me. So there won't be any, we're going to have a very civil discussion. I'm not going to be mean. I'm not really mad at him anymore. I'm kind of over it. I hope he makes it right. That's the thing. But the things don't line up. So Jay Clean is in the house. And hey, everybody. Jamie, I assume that's you as well. Nice piano.
You like? Oh, which way is it? It's over here. Look at that piano.
Jay is a regular over on our show, the Can-Am Connection. But
well, real quick, I just want to address this. NatFit. I'm not sure if this is Canada. Jamie.
I think that's Jamie, but he's probably not heard any of this. So
there was just a lot of miscommunications about who was supposed to do what on ArmSports side and Billy's promotion side. And that's where it comes down to this video is we got hired to run the tournament and make sure it went smooth and easy with the referees. I was coordinating referees. I was doing the brackets, the weigh-ins, and all that. And somewhere along the way, because the super matches, there was pretty much no money to pay all these guaranteed athletes, was kind of getting stemmed down to other people. So
Yeah. So anyway, what my perception here is this. I'll just jump in a little bit. I'll
yeah,
add some things to your story that, right from the start, like when this was first booked, and I think Cody and I were the first ones to say yes to this. We took a very modest offer from Billy based on what we could have gotten from other promoters, for this match, because it's been a match that's been around for a while and people seem to want to see it.
yeah,
So doing him a favor. And then we have, leading up to the event, probably for 4 months ish, maybe a little longer, I always was checking in, saying, like, how are things going? You got it all under control. And there was always the reassurance that, yes, I got this. It's all good. Right up to the day before the event. And it was always reassurance, always saying, yeah, I got this. There's a few things that don't add up along the way, and it's making me nervous. And I talked to Jody about it a little bit, and I talked to Cody about it a little bit.
mm-hmm.
And I think I made them a little bit nervous about it too. And I just said, if he's relying on entry fees, he's going to lose money.
Great.
Because based on the math, he would have needed roughly 225 male entries at that tournament to break even.
Pro.
We got 55.
Yeah.
So a little short, but that's how the numbers go in Manitoba.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it would be like 60 to 80, that kind of thing. Yes, Billy ran an event, the East versus West qualifier, that was massively successful, but there was a very sought after position to be in. Plus, there was some good prize money. This event was booked on the Canadian Thanksgiving weekend,
I didn't even
week
know that.
before 1 week before another very popular Manitoba event. So this weekend, this Saturday, is the Mansas Challenge. That
Yeah.
event has been running for roughly 15 years. Every year, with the exception of maybe a year off during COVID. So he's kind of fighting from a negative position already. He's a week before another big event. It's on Canadian Thanksgiving weekend. The entry fees are extremely high for a Manitoba tournament. I think they were the same entry fee as nationals, to be honest. And I don't think we've ever had over 200 entries at a tournament unless it was a nationals that were held in the province of Manitoba. So we're trying to set records here just to break even.
And just to touch on that before you go further, about the entry fees, I said, this is what I do over here in the States. And I said, and this is what I offer. And I sent him pictures of my Arizona, because we talked before Arizona State. Again, this was back in what was it, June? We did the finals for East versus West. Yeah,
Something
June,
like that, yeah.
June 3rd. So when we set the price of this thing, it was ultimately me setting it because of what I was told from his East versus West qualifier and what I told him I paid for my medals for Arizona State, and he was getting those medals as well. So to touch base on that, I felt like going in the back room and punching myself in the face when I saw a $2 medal.
No, they weren't the same. I was gonna say I feel bad because I was critical.
Because I'm very big on, if you have the same entry money, then you get the same award. If it's different, it's a bigger award to less. Now, another reason why it was that much money is because of the golden ticket. So It was a part of the award, but it was about the golden ticket as well. Um, but again,
That's a high value award,
yeah,
really.
it
Or
is,
at the
and
time
that's
it
kind
was.
of why the pros were up there as much as well. Um, but again, that's where I looked at Jody and I was like, this is against everything I've ever talked about. I said, this is literally against everything I've ever said. You know, that if you charge this much money, your award needs to be this much better. And that's where I was just like, I was irritated off the get go because I didn't see the worst at the end of the night. They brought him out. I know what the price is on him because again, that was coming out of ArmSports Entertainment's money because I was running the tournament and I was understood about that. But we didn't get no money.
Jay Clean knows what's up because this has always been my philosophy as well. The
Yeah.
medal should be at the minimum the same price as the entry fee.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at Arm Sports Entertainment and you go back to my events, you know, I think 8 years ago I started at $30, and then, um, you know, right when Jody's son had that accident, I raised it up to like $35, and then I always told everybody $5 goes to Jody's son's foundation.
Yeah.
Um, and then it turned into like, oh shit, we got to go to 40 just because now we're so big. I have to pay a venue to go there,
Yeah.
you know? And then people kind of like, okay, I had to pay to go to this venue. So I kept kind of the same awards, but everybody's like, we want some bigger and better awards. And I was like, I'll get you the best, but it's going to be $50 an entry. And they're like, that's fine. It's state. Well, I got a good deal. Now I only do $40. But my medals come from like the Mr. Olympia medals. That they're the same makers. They're not cheap by all means. Um, so, anyways, that just kind of
Yeah.
rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah. So we have this scenario. Anyway, so despite all that, I don't think there was any actual complaints about the medals, to be honest. I don't think there was. I think people assumed that they were subsidizing the super matches.
Yeah, and I just hope that if anybody's watching this, um, and I'm gonna post it when we're done. Um, my sincere apologies for not being more involved on the tournament side of the medals and stuff like that. I believe I was more involved when I said ladies pull free at your event if I'm involved because that's how Arm Sports Entertainment rolls. Um, we I stick to that. If I do anything, it it's that's what it is. You know.
Hey man, you got a $5 super chat for your birthday.
Oh my gosh. My first ever live, my first ever super chat. J8 Pipe Fitting. You are awesome. Thank you so much. I'm trying. Me and Ryan are
But it's $5 Canadian, so keep that in mind. It's like $4 American.
hey, you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. Drink to that. Um, and you know, I think I've to kind of sum up a little bit the rest of the what we're talking about before we get into some other things. Um, I sincerely hope Billy makes this right. I um, I don't have any hard feelings against the guy. I took a loss. Arm Sports Entertainment took a loss. Um,
Which way am
you
I
know,
pointing here? Look over there.
oh Louis, you dirty dog. He's been calling me all day. I've been out on a drill rig. I just started my new business, and it's our first day is my birthday, and that's when we started drilling. Oh, Lewis, I know you'll be there, buddy. I appreciate you more than anything. You know it. Um, you know, I've known Jody for gosh, 16 years now. Um, just his story, everything. And you know, it has nothing to do with any of the other athletes you included. And I told you this in Jody's room when I found out he wasn't getting paid. I had $300 I brought to Canada to party with. I'm like, all my boys, my boys coming to town, like we're gonna get down. I went and slapped that to him because I was just so mad. Even though we already were taking like $1,000, $1,500 hit on this thing, between my flights and food, drinks, which I thought was covered, some other things. I was just trying to do what was right, and like I said, around the table with everybody, anybody that was there that was part of these super matches, you're more than welcome at my Washington State in December, my Arizona State next year. I throw out the invite. You guys will pull for free. And I don't have to do that, but like, I feel like that's just my part of trying to help out a situation that was out of my control. And so, again, I hope he makes it right. I just want to clear my name, with my side of the story. And yeah, what do you got?
Well, I mean, then we got the whole going forward with the when we all realized that we weren't getting paid. Um, Now, Billy, I don't have any ill will. Okay, I
Same.
I was pissed off at him. Fine. What I did, you got another super chat, man. Sing it. He wants me to sing "Happy Birthday" to you for.
Oh my gosh, man! I'm gonna have to go live more often. This
I'm
is
gonna.
fine.
Happy
Sing it, big fella.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tim. Happy birthday to you. Somebody's gonna make a short out of that.
Cheers. I'm gonna make a short out of that for sure. Man, where's Jody when we need him? Unfortunately, Jody had to work tonight, so he couldn't join us. I was pretty much bringing the Can-Am connection on here because we've been kind of just
We've been there the whole time.
picking each other's brains, and
Yeah. So we go forward. Billy says we're not getting paid, and I believe he will make it right. I do.
true.
It's going to take a while, but
But make what right to who?
well, he will. I believe he will pay everyone what he promised to pay them. Now,
So I can tell
but
you,
the
I'm sure
discrepancy is between you and Bill. Like you and Billy have a misunderstanding of what that is. That's where it gets complicated.
yeah. So at what point does he think that ArmSports Entertainment owes $3,000 towards his debt?
I don't
Because
think he believes that anymore.
when we talked and I brought him outside for the second time, I said, you need to clear my name because you're telling people that I owe them half this money and it's half my fault.
Yeah.
And he said something to me that I'm not going to repeat. And I said, okay. And then that pretty much reassured me that he was letting everybody know that it's not my fault.
And
We probably wouldn't even be having this stream
yeah,
if he would have went on that first stream that he went on that I saw, and he would have mentioned our name and said we had nothing to do with it. But now I'm making a video because he didn't say anything about us. Well, he didn't say anything about me. He had a lot to say about you.
he did have a lot to say about me. He implied that, well, he said somebody yelled at him in front of his wife and kid. That wasn't me. I don't know that that even happened. He certainly implied that it might have been me.
I'm pretty sure I know who it was.
And then he said he got threatened, and he said that separately. And yes, he did get threatened.
Yeah.
Not by me, not by Tim. We know who it was.
Mm-hmm.
And that person did that because they're upset about not getting paid. And then they got paid. So I guess it worked. There was a lot of talk about bullying and whatever. There's no bullying there. People were pissed off. I didn't get the table riled up. I was the last one that was met with out of all of the arm wrestlers. He said the table was riled up. Well, of course, everyone at that table had just gotten told they're not getting paid.
I will tell you one person that was not riled up. Alex was ready to go all night. And I'm pretty sure
Oh,
Alex
Alex was
all types.
Alex was cool with all of it.
But you know what? You got uh, me and Alex have chatted since, but um, yeah, it's not. I hope he doesn't think that we were all over there like, how could we scheme up something to like bash him? Like, we were ready to take care of everything one on one, you know, and squash this. But I think that what really, as a promoter as well as a referee, but I'm speaking as a promoter now. Um, if if I had something like this happen, it never would. But if it did, I wouldn't be going on podcasts telling everybody. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm
Yeah.
making it right with people first. I think that's just
Or
what rubs me the wrong way, is because I feel that it was so quick to jump the gun on someone's podcast to tell them a side of the story that maybe wasn't the full side.
and there was some stuff in there that was, factually incorrect. Like
Right.
there was some different stories that came out along the way. That got some attention. They weren't true. So, you know, if I could offer any advice to Billy, if he's watching, and I'm sure he is, or he's, going to watch this at some point, just make it right.
Right.
Stop doing the poor me stuff, because you should probably expect to get a little bit of shit along the way for something like this. So should everyone else that does this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whether it's intentional or not, it happened, and it happened because of a lack of preparation and planning. That's it. Um, so figure it out, get it paid. Don't focus on how you were done wrong, because a lot of people were made a lot of promises and none of them came through. That's
Mhm.
it.
Yeah. I totally agree, and just kind of, it could have been a lot worse. I
Goddamn
will
right,
say,
it could have been worse.
I know who I know who his original main event was,
So do I.
and I can
That
tell
would
you,
not have been good, man.
if those two people were here, he would not still be in Manitoba. I mean, I know both of them personally, and obviously you do too.
Yep.
And it's it, I, it wouldn't have been good.
No.
Um, and I guess a couple
And
things,
and it would have been a lot more expensive.
and a couple things that kind of rubbed me the wrong way is, and I want to kind of clear your name on this aspect as well. Um, you didn't tell him to quit the sport, as in pulling.
No, I
You
never told him to stop arm wrestling.
you just told him that he should never promote again.
And you
Um,
know what? I'll take a beat on that one. I will say this. If your intention, because he brought up his next event before he ever got, like, in the same breath of telling everyone he's gonna pay them eventually, he was talking about his next event, and my wife had something to say to him about that. Me and you and Jody were having a drink of whiskey in his room at the
yep.
time, but she said, "How dare you talk about your next event when you haven't squared up for this one?" I will take a little bit of a pause and say, instead of me saying you never promote again, Billy, just make it right before you start planning your next event,
Yeah.
because if you haven't, you're going to get backlash. That's just the way it's going to go.
Yeah, you don't want to be like a certain other Canadian that did that. So let's not make that a trend. Let's not make that a trend here, because that person is not even in arm wrestling no more.
And Billy, you're probably going to end up, if you want to try this again down the road, you're going to be facing upfront costs.
Yeah,
You're going to have to pay people in advance.
which is understandable. Like, and if he understands that, and if he makes it right, and then he understands that, and next year he comes out with an event and he honors the golden ticket and he makes it right here.
Yeah.
I will be sitting in Arizona applauding you from right here.
Yeah.
Um, and it's not. I'm not gonna badmouth it. I'm not gonna say I'm not that guy because I believe that I'm not gonna see a dime. I've already accepted that. My wife's accepted that. My team has accepted that. I'll sit here and applaud you. I'm not gonna badmouth your event if you have another one. Not at all. By all means, if you make it right and you have another event, I hope you make $1 million, sir.
Yep.
I truly do. Um,
I mean, I personally, it would take a lot to get me to return, but I wish you the best.
yeah, exactly. You know, I'm not gonna. I've done this, for a long time, and a couple people told me to don't do this. Mainly my wife. Don't put your name on something that you don't trust. Um, and she was right. And hopefully she didn't hear me. She's in the back of there. Um, but I took a chance because I love Canada so much. We used to travel there all the time. I lived in Vancouver, Washington. We used to travel to Anthony Del Antonio's on the weekend, hang out, pull, and then we would stay on the waterfront and have a good time. I just love Canada. So I was taking a chance that I would get those 4 tournaments a year and have a great time with everybody. Some things don't work out, lessons learned.
And Tim, it still might work out because I had a promotion going for a while, and I'm thinking about getting it going again.
That would be great. I
And,
thought I'm kind of happy that there was a certain other promotion in Canada that was watching some things, and they hit me up Sunday and they want me to come in January. So
ooh,
I'm excited for that, but it's hard to put your name on something again without a pencil to paper or up front something like, hey, you know what? Just a flat fee for us to come, you know?
yeah.
And, it's really unfortunate that my two main bracket people couldn't come and my second head ref couldn't come. Because if those people were able to come and they would have been there, I don't know how I would have reacted. You're talking Corey Miller, you're talking Luke Polsner, myself and my wife. I might still be in Canada right now because my wife would have. You heard.
Yeah.
Our wives are gonna hang out someday because they're about 2 peas in a pod.
Yeah, I think so. And you know what? I remember, who phoned me up today was Mark Zalepa. I don't know if you know Mark, but
Nope.
Mark ran the All Niagara tournament way back in the early 2000s, and it was a huge cash promotion. And halfway through the event, the promoter skipped, like he left the building.
Oh.
And that's when Engin came here from Turkey for one of the first times he was in North America. And Travis was there, Mike Gould was there, Devin was there, and guys actually had to get in between the promoter and some of the competitors because they knew he was on his way out. Damn. And they were going to get him. And they basically saved this guy's ass and he got out of there. But that was a big money event, and there was a lot of people that flew in internationally to come to it and not get paid.
Yeah, there's been a couple of those the last 7-8 years.
There's been a couple in Canada, and I'm going to say this because I had a couple promoters ask me, can you clear the air for us too? And some of these guys have asked me, some have not, but I'll tell you that, Kane Hemsing runs tournaments, Fit to Fight, ArmSports League. Never run into this before. Fraser Benoit has the Stronghold League in Alberta. Top-notch promotion. Never over promises and under delivers. Fraser's been running tournaments for 20 years. He used to run the Best in the West tournament, and there's guys all across Canada that are running these leagues, and they do it the right way, and they have business plans, and they make sure it's all taken care of. And I'm sure Billy will learn and grow from this. My advice to him would be, just make it right. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop doing the tour of the podcasts.
Right.
Just make it right, man. And this will go away. Like, most people are not even, like, as we've seen in your stream here on your chat stream, some people are like, we don't know what you guys are talking about.
Right. It's
Well,
like we all went and blasted our own business, like
and
no.
then Billy is out there shining a huge spotlight on it, and it's bringing attention for the wrong reasons.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if we really wanted to, I mean, we were all having some cocktails. I mean, we could have easily went live I think between three or four channels I know that were involved in this promotion are well over 100,000 subscribers. So if we really wanted to, yeah, we could have went live and we could have blasted. And
I'm so happy we didn't.
me too, because someone would have saw me fake hillbilly line dancing with Gabby. It was,
I think we saw that anyway.
we all I think we all did it right. I think that we spoke our piece. We said there's going to be more talks face to between us, and then we tried slowly as best as we can and just have a good night with what we had.
Hey, we still had a great night.
I thought it was awesome. I mean, we still pulled off a great night and had fun, and yeah, I love Canada. So
that's why I live here.
Yeah, I do. But
that's an interesting town. On a side note, because the town of Steinbach, or the city of Steinbach, is dry.
Oh,
there's no bars there, but that place we were in is just outside the city limits.
I could see that compared to Friday night, how they were flocking in at 10, 11 o'clock at night. It was kind of weird.
Yeah. Popular little place.
But I mean, just to kind of wrap some things up here, again, just wanted to clear ArmSports name and speak our side of it. And again, no bashing here. Just want to clear our name, move on. We have a huge event December 2nd in Vancouver, Washington for Washington State Championships. Couple different countries confirmed coming. More on that. Again, wanted to bring you on to tell your side, and we were kind of on the same page of talking and getting told some of the same things, and we chatted Friday and Saturday night, mostly Saturday night, about what was going on. And so again, yeah, that's for whoever's watching. And when we repost this isn't a bashing. This isn't like we're the second, third people to come up and talk about it. We're just speaking the truth and letting everybody know our side. So yeah. Ryan, you got anything with that?
I agree. I hope a lot of people have learned from this. I hope Billy, takes the lesson and just Billy, time heals all wounds, man. So if you want to keep doing this, you got your path. Make it right and move forward. So
totally agree.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being my first guest on ArmSports Entertainment Discussion.
My pleasure.
I think I'm going to have more of these. This was kind of fun. Everybody has a damn YouTube and has their own time slots now. I feel like, we had the Northeast Reader Board. I feel like we need that for YouTube channels now. I think I'm going to create that. It's going to be the YouTube Reader Board, so everybody can post their time slots.
That's actually a good idea, so people could go on there and know what they're missing,
right?
And then see what they're competing against too, because sometimes you get on there and Ingen's doing a live, and all of a sudden you're wondering why nobody's watching.
I mean, if we just had a reader board, right? You just blasted it on Instagram and Facebook saying, "Hey, here's your time slots for the next month because they're full, and you guys can't do nothing unless you're in the time slots." I think it'd be awesome. I think we have to play around with that.
And you got to hear me sing a song. My God,
right?
Jay Clean.
That's beautiful. All right, yeah. I think this is Gonna call it good. Thank you, Jay, for being a part of the show. Ryan, appreciate you. I'm not going anywhere, man. There's so many more things in this brain right here that you guys are gonna see, and it's gonna be amazing. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Ryan, appreciate you coming on, speaking with me, and we'll see you guys next time.
Right on. Thanks, buddy.